Well, communications is constantly changing, and so is technology. They're kind of one and the same. Especially in the last, I'd say about 30 years for communications majors, things have been shifting, and I think it's very important to stay up to date. It's kind of difficult to do strictly because of the changing ways of the way that we're communicating, but as well as the prices and the technology that we're having to deal with now. But it is important, and eventually, whenever you graduate, you'll be in the field and you'll have a chance to actually experiment with those type of technologies. So I do think it's important to keep up to date with that.
I think it's very important. That's how trends and everything is how people communicate, and that's how people distinguish what is a hot topic to go about looking into and communicating with.
Lots of communications degrees are very versatile. They can be used in many different job fields, and one of those sayings, beggars can't be choosers. When you first get out of college, you need to go into something that's going to complement your degree, but not something that's going to compromise what you feel yourself morally doing in the future. So, yeah, you should be flexible with it, but not to the point where you're uncomfortable with your decision. You always want to have, in the end, you want to be able to go to work and say that you enjoy the work that you're doing, even if it's not necessarily the one thing you had in mind.
Mm-hmm. You have to be open-minded about a lot of things. Like, you can't go into something closed-minded. You have to be able to accept ideas, learn from other people, and whatnot.
Video, audio, and written all have different readers and different viewerships. So I think that's very important to discriminate upon how you're going to be doing that. Like, for instance, this is a visual and an audio. It's going to be different than somebody who's just looking for a calmer written aspect. It's very important, I think, to determine what it is you feel more comfortable doing. I prefer written methods. And I think it's important to kind of scope out your audiences with that, and it can be difficult to do that just because everybody has certain preferences that you might not even know, but being able to scope them out is always easy, and asking questions is one of the best ways to do that. So,
you want to prioritize by who your main audience is. So you want your articles or posts to be attractive to your target audience. You want them to be able to find it interesting from the get-go, and then worry about people who aren't necessarily target audience.